Well done. That's Ed and Tom from Media Molecule. Thank you for that. Welcome everybody. My name is Siobhan Reddy. I'm the studio director at Media Molecule. I'm going to sort of say a few words and then we'll move on to the rest of the conference. Does everybody want to come in? It's a good time. Grab a seat. So being able to do live performances like the one that you've just seen with Dreams has been core to our vision right from the very beginning. And in fact, it was the very first way we showed Dreams back in 2013 at the, I think, the launch of the PlayStation 4. So it's been in development for a little while. But Dreams, for those who don't know what it is a game creation engine that brings together all of the disciplines into one space. So moving between them is a fluid experience. As you learn the basics of assembling a level, you're learning the same skills that you'll carry into making music or animation or visual effects or logic. It's all runs real time, so you're never waiting for anything to render. And so you basically just can play as you go. And unlike Little Big Planet, which was one of our previous titles, where everything retained the very handcrafted style of LBP, Dreams actually allows a whole world of different art styles to shine through. And our art director, Kareem Attouni, who comes from a background of production design, architecture, and oil painting, so has always sort of pushed us sort of sidestepping the game space, has ensured that Dreams is a place where the looseness of impressionism and then the tightness of architecture can coexist. So you can make something completely from scratch, collaborate with others, it's all shareable, so you can make remix creations that are made, or you can just play and watch the content to your heart's desire. In 2 weeks' time, we are going to be launching early access for Dreams. And so to prepare for this, we gave our community the tools and tutorial to have a go. We gave about 20,000 self-identified creators Dreams for 6 weeks. And I'm just going to play a video quickly for you to sort of give you some context of what people are actually doing in Dreams, as well as mad musical performances. Amazing. So to achieve this vision, hold on, let's just get to the right, there we go. Our team has had to work together differently. The ambition of the project has meant that we have jammed more, less as a full team, but more in our small groups as molecules, as each discipline within the studio has had to help create the tools designed for them from the ground up. And the end result of this is that every single person in the studio has contributed and influenced the shape of Dreams, and they have passionately advocated for and contributed and influenced their area more than any project we've ever worked on. And that has really tested our strengths, our weaknesses, our structure as a studio, but it has made us better and is how we've moved the vision closer, moved to the vision day by day. But when I look back on the project and the time that we've spent making it, I want to be proud also of the efforts that we've made to have good working conditions, a diverse working space, and an open dialogue within the studio. And so over the past 13 years, my co-director, we haven't been working on it for 13 years, by the way. It feels like it, but it's been 7. We have had a vision of creating a studio that is something that we aspire to be, making the types of games that we want to make with a bunch of creative people in ways that work for us. And Media Molecule has always been a studio that has naturally leaned towards having a diverse team, and for us diversity goes beyond gender. So when thinking of diversity, one must zoom out and remember that as part of the media, we also affect the cultural consciousness in a way we represent society in our work. We want the best and the brightest and the most creative people to join our industry, and did that just fall off? Yep, it's fine. It's all good. To join us and help it continue to develop. People shouldn't feel that this isn't an industry that isn't designed for them, and nor should they see it as a space that should be hard for them to exist based on any factor of their identity. And from an artistic point of view, a diverse group of people are going to bring a wider range of perspectives, backgrounds, emotions, and experiences to the table. And that's naturally going to result in art that is more considerate, more varied, more interesting, and more powerful. So to achieve this, it takes not systemic diversity, so equal hiring, promotion practices, flexibility of contracts to allow individual needs, but also the fostering of an environment and a culture in which a diverse set of people can thrive. One in which all participants can have an active and interest in ensuring everyone else in the environment feels welcomed, respected, and empowered. One in which all participants take efforts to identify and work past their biases, including unconscious forms, and to respect each other's requests on how they wish to be treated. When I started to get asked about what it was like to be a woman in games or how we bring women into games, I wasn't actually really that sure how to answer that question, particularly on behalf of the entire industry. Those questions for me were often accompanied by being asked to join a board or a working group. And it took me a little bit of time to realise that wasn't what was going to work for me or the studio. The only way that I could influence change was by actions that I could actually take every single day myself and move things myself each day. So to change the needle on hiring women into the industry in particular, it was going to take a conscious effort on a studio level. So we took a bunch of actions, and I just wanted to share some of those today, and I think these can be applied in many different ways. One was we invested more in HR to ensure that our working practice continued to improve, and I think human resources and HR within the games industry is sort of woefully under sort of respected. It's a really important role within studios and within our industry. We encourage women and minorities at Media Molecule to participate in public-facing opportunities, to show young people that there are people like them in our studio and at all levels and experience in all roles. We started saying yes to school groups, to school visits and co-ed schools. We asked them to have a 50-50 gender split where possible. We said yes to hiring interns, starting with art interns, and that was actually sparked by receiving one sort of fantastic intern application, and that sort of just birthed the whole idea. And Emily's sort of story has been instrumental with us at Media Molecule, and since then we've now I think we're going up to our 5th intern now. We started to say yes to work experience and build a pathway from there to internships. And we actually currently have a intern, Rosabelle, who sort of has interestingly gone through all of these paths. I went and spoke at her school. She then asked to come and do work experience. She did 2 bouts of work experience with us and was our first code intern, and she's bloody brilliant. And so that kind of story I think is really important because it took us having that conscious effort to say yes to a variety of different things, and then assign her a mentor to work with her along the way. So being open to opportunities and finding the right people has sort of helped us create programs within the studio that we can build on. We prioritise minorities when we're taking on interns and work experience. We see it as a way to build pathways. We changed our job adverts to avoid using gender-coded language that might put off minority candidates. We actively recruited minority candidates for disciplines where we lacked them and went onto websites and notice boards and through our own networks. We tried to make it then really easy. We reviewed our gender pay gap to make sure that we weren't undervaluing our women employees. We tried to make it as easy as possible for our parents to return to work with hours that work for them. We sort of embrace flexible working in a way that I'm still quite shocked by myself, because it is work, but actually I think it is work that really pays off, particularly if we want to have a multi-generational workforce. We became much more watchful of our own representation in talks, in interviews, and on streams. We became much more watchful of our representation of characters and languages in our games. We have been challenging bias in our own creative process. We don't promote a enforced crunch culture within the studio, and we have started to get more involved in the BAME events and ran an event at the studio. I mean, there are 15 things that we've been doing. They break down into lots of different areas. We didn't do all these things at once. That's by no means the end of the list. Like, we have to keep working at all of this, and I can't always give us a gold star, but those actions have had a very positive cumulative effect. We have actually, as a studio, you'll notice that all of those are quite inward-facing. As we've been making Dreams, we have been facing inward for a very long time. And this next phase of the studio is much more about us going to be sort of getting involved with the wider community again. The impact of some of those things is that we are at 35% women within the studio, which is pretty good. We have been at 40%, but then we hire people, lose people, and it's like this constant work in progress. But once you start paying attention, you're paying attention. And where things have been less than a gold star, we've been following up and listening to people. And I think that's just as important. There's a whole other talk in our journey through some of these things, in particular bias and how we deal with that. But studio culture is a work in progress, and I think that's one of the things that's quite a liberating thing for everybody to remember, is that all of these subjects you're going to be hearing today, if you're not doing any of them right now within your studios and games, that's okay. You can just start. Like, the point is, you're all here to learn and to sort of see what happens next. I think one of the things that's very important about a conference today is that the trends many years ago were like, tech companies having scooters and slippery dips, and, the benefits sort of all being around these sort of extra perks that we'd all get. But actually, I think that what most of us really want is to work in places that actually have a social conscience, and to have a place that is seen to be doing the right thing. I don't want everybody at Media Molecule just to be proud of our work. I want everybody to be proud of the studio that we are and the actions that we take as a group of people. And that, to me, will be success. It has to be balanced. That's my opening remarks. I'm very happy to be here, and we should give Michael French wherever he is. Where are you, Michael? Is he here? He's not, but let's just give him a clap. So Michael is the organizer of this event, and he pulled together this summit to be able to showcase the positive impact that games can have on people's lives, and their potential to reshape the world, which is pretty awesome. And I think, we all know as people making games that sometimes the headlines will be just sort of the negative impact of games, whereas actually there are just so many positive stories. And what I know from working in the games industry is that I think it's a bunch of really progressive and brilliant people who are all very willing to do new and brilliant things. So I think this particular summit is very close to my heart, and being something that I think, we should be doing more of and celebrating more of.